Steve, you were one of the first American professional basketball players here in Walferdange in
Yes.
residence. It was 74, 75 and the year after it. And today we have agents, we have networking. How did you come to Luxembourg and to Walferdange?
Well, it was sort of a network. I first played in '71 for Mersch, and then I went back to my family in New York for 2 years. I came back, but in Mersch, my coach knew a man named Paul Felice, and he came all the way to New York to meet me. And all he said was, "Can you smash? Can you smash? Can you smash?" And then I came to Mersch, but then I knew the system. I played against the national team here with Steve Koski, other players, and I just fell in love with the country because my parents are European, Greek and Italian. And was that the question? So then I learned the ropes about Luxembourg, and when they put me at Henry's house, he just became a dear friend of mine. Because
yes, this was a question of your experience here in Walferdange. And there they told me, your friends here in Luxembourg, they told me a very funny story about you playing here 40 points.
Yes, so I was waiting at Henri's one night, and it was pouring rain. And we used to play in the school in, what's the next town? Lawrenceweiler. That was our venue. And I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm going, what? And I tried to call, but they already left. So I said, that's it, I'm getting on the road, and I got a ride, Hitchhike, I don't make a habit of it. And I got there, and I said, what is the matter with you guys? I don't think I'm a star, but you won't win without me. I want to play my game. And then I said, and right now I'm not going to play unless you promise to pay the rest of the rent at Henry's house, to make it simple. And they did it. It was an interesting committee with Dietert and Mr. Was it Herber? Anyway, so it was in the papers. Art Juncker, he liked me. He put 40 points on auto stop, and he explained, that's the American spirit. That's the American spirit. I don't know if I can agree with that 100%, but I wanted to play. I was in love with basketball from growing up in New York, and I played in university in Pennsylvania. And I tried for the NBA, and it was like, hey, thanks for coming, see you, bye-bye. So I came back to Europe. I was in that period when I wasn't here. And the auto stop is a funny story, but it's a true story. So,
what did you, after your time here in Walferdange?
What did I think of it? Oh, well, I became involved in the community because I coached, my girlfriend at the time was Dominique Nicolai, and she had brothers on the team. And some of my friends played sports like football. And I like Walferdange. It's an amazing, I like it better than Mersch, and I just had made a series of friends here. And I think the basketball club, even without me, became a successful thing. So I was happy to keep up on the news with them.
And after your time here in Walferdange, you left Walferdange. What did you there?
What did I do then? I came back to, I had a scholarship in a university in the West Coast in the environmental area. So I was on a project in Idaho. It's way out west. I had a degree, so I just followed teaching jobs and science jobs. And I did go to a lot of professional games to watch, San Francisco and New York, Seattle. But basically, at that time in America, things were changing like always all around the world. And the 70s were a volatile time, but I tried to, I played in some summer leagues and coached young kids in my hometown. So I don't know, I was still young and I wanted to be active. And that way I don't smoke, I have a beer, but that's, that doesn't answer your question though, does it? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Last question, more generally spoken. When you see the basketball players today or playing basketball today in comparison to basketball nearly 50 years ago?
Well, first of all, there's a networking aspect that they don't really have to do a lot of. Do you know who Felice Paul is? Paul Felice? You must have heard the name. Anyway, he came all the way to New York. That was my networking. They sent me the tickets and I came. Signed a contract. But 50 years ago, well, I have to tell you, we played outside until it got too rainy. And I didn't care about that, outside. But the best story I have is we were out here to spread the word of the basketball, not to be egoist. But so, for example, if I was going to pass the ball to you and another player had a chance to intercept it, he wouldn't intercept it. He would kick it out of bounds due to the influence of soccer. And I said, wait a minute, everybody on the line, we're going to practice that. Because you can't do that, you have to get the ball. That was one of my most memorable, odd, if you will, experiences, because I said, wow, these guys, soccer's very important, football, but when he kicked it out, I couldn't believe it, so we had to stop the practice, and I think I did a good job, and I spoke French, so I was able to communicate with the players, and I'm just a friendly person, and I don't know, that was a good experience today. I tell that story everywhere, kicking the ball out of bounds. And my younger brother played for Olympiakos in Athens, and by the time he got there, well, the style of play changed because I was playing with juveniles who really didn't have any experience in the international game, let's say, the international arena. And I was happy to be a part of I met a guy today in Walfer who I knew from my friend. He said, you were the pioneers of basketball then. I don't think I'm that important, but it's a fact of life. And you see the game today with Europeans is Italians and Spanish always had good teams, but now all the Benelux countries, Holland had good teams. I played in Holland for a while. You see a vast difference, just like with most sports and the evolution of most things, I think. So, yeah, it's different. It was different. Oh, it was really different then. I mean, playing outside till it rained, and it was just kind of real club-like. It wasn't real, but there were some great players there. I played with Steve Koski and Aubrey Allen and Bill Berger and Scott McLennan. They were all my mates back then. So we played the best thing was we played the Luxembourg national team, and the Grand Duke, Jean, was coming around. He came to me and I said, good Novid, Grand Duke. And he said to his friend, Vinastat. And he said, that is a Mellini from Mersch. And I don't know, some of my moments that made me feel real comfortable here in Luxembourg. Yeah, I really liked it. And I liked Art Jonker a lot. You remember who he was? He was a reporter, a sports reporter, but he died young, I think. So, yeah, people were very friendly to me, and I liked it a lot. I would still, if I was younger, I'd come back. Maybe I'll come back to coach, I don't know. Because I live in England only, it's not that far.
Okay, Steve, thank you for this interview. No, we take it into several parts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much.